In today's video, we're going to talk about the importance of being tough during difficult times and how you might be able to summon up a little inner toughness when you feel challenged. Stay tuned, I think you'll find this video useful.
So here's to life, and every joy it brings. So here's to life.
Hello there everyone and welcome back to The Lovely Grind. My name is Michael Preby and my website's lovelygrind.com. That's where you're going to find blog posts, that's where you're going to find more information about my coaching, that's where you're going to be able to sign up for my newsletters so that you can get all of my posts as they're released. So I hope you'll check out lovelygrind.com, and I thank you for returning to this YouTube channel and to today's video, which is about the importance, the necessity of being tough to survive life's challenges. Now, lately I've been making a series of videos, and the idea for these videos comes from something I was going through earlier in this year. It was a stressful period for me. It was a period where I was feeling a little edgy, a little anxious, a little adrift or unmoored, and I was wondering, what am I going through and why am I going through this? And I just came to the conclusion that it was kind of life and God testing me at that time and seeing how I responded and what I ought to focus on during that time and learn from that time. And what I think I heard God telling me during a run one day during that period was that I needed to be grateful during that period. Even when things seemed difficult, I needed to also be toughen up during that period instead of feeling sorry for myself. And I also needed to be faithful during that period and continue to focus on my relationship with Him. And in my previous video, we focused on the first of those things, gratitude, and how it's important for all of us to practice gratitude, not only when things are going great, but especially when things are difficult. And today we're going to focus on that second point that I think is important for all of us to remember. Sometimes we just have to respond to life's challenges by being tough rather than falling into a victim mentality or focusing obsessively on our problems or pains. And that's a reality of going through the healing process for anyone who is out there going through it or anyone who's been through it. I myself got off of Paxil and Xanax years ago after more than a dozen years of use. And I went through withdrawals with both of those. And as weak as I felt sometimes, as many different pains as I had, as troubled as my mind seemed, and no matter how many times I broke down, I did have to come back to a certain inner toughness during that. There's no way around it. A person has to find strength to get through such times. Sometimes I was able to muster that strength of my own accord, and other times I had to have family members push me in that direction and gently or not so gently remind me, hey, you just got to toughen up a little bit here. These circumstances are going to pass. This isn't going to be the end of you, but you have to be tough right now. And that's true for all of us when we're going through such a time, such a trying time. That saying about tough times don't last, tough people do, that's absolutely true. No matter what circumstances, no matter the difficulties and pains, those circumstances are going to pass, and we're still going to be here one way or the other. So in effect, when we're going through such times, we have to tell ourselves, listen, I'm going to endure and come out on the other side of this thing, and I'm not going to let this situation defeat me. And when we tell ourselves that, that's mustering up that inner toughness. Not always easy to do, and ironically, we can do it though, even when we're feeling weak. And I'll talk about that in a few moments. First, I'm going to talk about an interesting documentary I've been watching recently, or a series on Netflix about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and maybe some of you have seen some of it. It covers his bodybuilding career, his movie career, his political career, and so forth, and then the new kind of career he's embarking on as an influencer. A lot of the things in that series I've already heard of because I've read pretty in-depth biography of him twice, actually, that is very good. But in that documentary, Arnold talks about difficult times he went through and his approach to it. And maybe you'll find this useful. In any event, it's interesting. So when he was building his bodybuilding career, when he was first ascending through those ranks, he had some family tragedy happen. And his approach was to not focus on the tough emotions. As a matter of fact, to compartmentalize some of those things he was going through and then to stay busy with his career. So he said, okay, listen, I'm no master of psychology, but when I was going through these things, I said, okay, I can either focus on the idea of, oh, poor me, I'm a victim, my circumstances are terrible, or I can just get busy with the things that I want to accomplish in life. And that's what he did. And I think there's something we can all take away from that in some respect. Focusing on a sense of victimhood or on pains in our lives, ruminating on those things, it's okay to talk about them, process them, but obsessing on them isn't productive. And in some respects, getting busy with a project or a goal is going to help us to shift our focus and keep moving forward in life, even when we're going through difficult circumstances. You know, Arnold also said in that series that later on, when he was building his movie career, and he was one of the top action stars, a lot of you probably remember that globally in the 80s and 90s, when he was going through some tough times career-wise at that point in his life, he had his mother-in-law at the time, Eunice Shriver Kennedy, say the same thing to him. She would tell him, listen, you can't sulk. You have to be tough, and we have to keep moving forward. We have to always keep moving forward. And again, we don't all have the constitution of Arnold. He's kind of a different personality. But there are things we can learn from some of these people who've built monumental accomplishments and careers in their lives and have gone through their own difficulties. And I think there are some takeaways from Arnold's approach to things. One, don't wallow in self-pity. Shift the focus by getting busy with a project or goal. And remind yourself, I'm going to always keep moving forward regardless of the circumstances. If a person can do that, then in effect, that's summoning a great deal of inner toughness. Also, I think it's very important to recognize that even though we might feel very troubled, very fragile, and very weak during difficult times, including withdrawal, those difficult times are actually building inner strength in us that's going to carry over into the future and into other endeavors in life and other situations in life. Those sorts of trials and challenges where there might be physical pains involved, there might be mental and emotional, even spiritual things that we're dealing with on a minute-to-minute basis, those are actually building strength in us and building character. You're learning many things about yourself. You're learning many tips and tools for how to endure and manage difficulties. And those things are going to carry over into the good future that you're moving towards. You know, over and over again, we see examples of difficult times building strength and character in people. Whether it's famous characters from the Bible, or whether it's some of the people in this current world that you might admire. Actors, other entertainers, athletes, businessmen, and so forth. You read a biography or a memoir of someone, and you're never going to just have an easy breezy read. Frankly, no one would pick it up. There wouldn't be any sales if it was an easy breezy read. Going through challenging times resonates with people because everyone goes through them. So we like to see people who have found a way to rise to the challenge, find that inner toughness, and come out on the other side. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do today. I think a lot of times when I talk to people in coaching, they don't give themselves enough credit for how strong they're being. Because there's some fear there, there's some physical pains there might be any number of challenges related to stressful situations and stress sensitivities there. So a person can feel real weak sometimes. But despite that, people are moving forward in their tapers. They're moving forward in their careers even. They're moving forward with their family responsibilities. And they're just surviving and hanging on. And that is tough. That shows toughness. So remember to give yourself some credit too for everything you do and everything you've endured. And if you keep at it, not only do you survive challenging times, but you come out on the other side with your character more developed and with a greater sense of inner strength, again, that's going to carry over into many, many things for you in the future. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video about the importance of being tough and finding that inner toughness and how that pays off for you. I hope you continue to check out these videos. Click thumbs up if you like this one and the subscribe button so you'll get every video as it's released. Check out lovelygrind.com, again, where you can find my blog posts and info about my various coaching options. My name is Michael Preby. I hope that you'll continue to watch these videos, and until next time, please remember to take care of yourself and your dreams.